Good afternoon. Today we're going to look at the quiz from Friday so we can make sure everyone gets 100. Well, not 100. We can make sure everyone has the right answers. And we can get you some points back if you might have missed them. So we got 12 questions to do. So this should take us about 15 minutes. So let's start question 1. Helicopter flying east for 48 miles, north for 14 miles as shown in the picture. They were nice, gave us everything we need to know right here. What is the shortest distance it can fly home? Shortest distance is always going to be a straight line. So this does make a right triangle. And we are looking for this side across the hypotenuse, which we know is C. So since we're looking for a missing side of a right triangle, we can use Pythagorean Theorem. 14 and 48 are the two sides that meet at the right angle, so those have to be our legs. We square our two numbers. 14 squared is 196. 48 squared is 2304. You can work that out if you don't believe me. And then we add these together. This comes out perfectly as 2500. So we don't care about c squared. So how do we get rid of squaring number? We have to take the square root. So the square root of 2500 is not 25. Wow, who taught you math? Okay.
5.
What's the square root of 25?
50. I mean 5.
And then what's the square root of 100? Oh my goodness. It's 10. And then 10 times 5 is 50.
See, I said 50.
You said 25.
I said 50.
Come on, old lady. Get your head in the game. So the answer was C. Alright, number 2 is just like number 1 except with smaller numbers. So we're looking for the diagonal here. So we're still looking for the side across from the right angle. That's still C. Even though it's a rectangle, it doesn't matter. So if this is 12, up here is also 12. If this is 8, so is this. So a new color. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Our legs are 8 and 12. So this gives us 64 plus 144 equals some number. So this is 208 is c squared. So again, we don't care what c squared is, we just want c, so we take the square root. And then we think, what number times itself is 208? And we don't know this one. So we have to look at what is close to that. So we make our little number line. We say, what square root is a little bit less than 208? Well, the square root of 196 gives us 14. And then the number after 14 is 15, and that square root is 225. So this is between 14 and 15. So this would be, it's a little bit closer to 14. So this would be like 14.3-ish. But if we look at our answer choices, the only one close to 14 or 15 is 14. So that's it. That's the first two. Alright, these ones, these are supposed to be the easy ones, but some people, I don't know, they struggled with it. So what shapes make up the garden? Well, there's this triangle. And this four-sided shape where everything is the same, we call those squares. And that was all you had to do for that one. Number 4, use the highlighter, which some people still missed. I don't know how. Highlight the triangle. Triangle. There. Done. Alright, what is the length of each side of the corn part of the garden? Well, it's a square. And one side is 4. Which means all the sides are 4. Because it's a square. Alright, what are the lengths of the legs of the right triangle? So here's our right triangle. Our legs would be this side and this side. It's kind of got a bumblebee theme going here. Most people got this one, that this was 4, because it's a side of the square. Problem is, a lot of you said this one was 7, which makes no sense at all. Okay? There's a little separator here. On this side is 4. On this side is something else, and the two of them together add up to 7. So what number plus 4 equals 7? 3. There you go. So our two legs are 3 and 4. Then it says find the hypotenuse. Well, we could work this one out, or you can be like, oh, remember all those times when Ellis said that there are going to be 3, 4, 5 right triangles, and we should remember that because they show up every quiz? Well, 3, 4. That means this last side has to be 5. Okay, if you don't believe me, you can work it out. I'll wait here. Trust me, it works. Alright, how many feet of fence will he need for the triangular portion of the garden? I was pretty easy about this because this is worded kind of weird. Because, like, is there a fence on this part? Do you need a fence to separate your tomatoes from your corn so they don't get into fights? I don't know. I'm not a farmer. So if you said, I only need a fence here and here, and said that it's 8, even though technically this is yards. So that's not really correct because it says feet, so 8 yards is 24 feet. But I was nice. If you put either of these, I gave you credit. I also gave you credit if you said, yeah, I don't think the tomatoes and the corn get along. I'm putting a fence right here. So that would be 8 plus 4. That would be 12 yards. Which again, we need to change to feet, would be 36 feet. Just saying you're back there like messing with the cat. And everyone's going to be like, who are you messing with back there? What's going on, Alice? That's the old lady. Messing with the cat. Anyways, if you put any of these 4 numbers, I gave you credit. If you put anything besides those 4, you didn't get credit. And that's the whole first half. So in the second half, oh my goodness, this question, oh my goodness. We did this question. Like, we did specifically this question in class, right? Should look familiar. Circle with a right triangle inside of it, dog rope, yeah. And the sad thing is, most of you had the right idea. Most of you saw, oh, 12, 13, and then you were like, hey, remember Ellis said we're going to see all these triangles that are 5, 12, 13? Well, yes, this is indeed 5. But the answer isn't saying what is just this one length. It's saying how far is it all the way across. So if this is 5, this is 5 as well, and the answer is 10. So if you put A, you did exactly what I said you were going to do. I said you're going to do all this work, and you're going to get the right answer, and then you're just going to forget to read the question. And you're going to pick the wrong answer. And you're going to get it wrong. And now you did. Some of you. Some of you picked this one. That's a good. I think a couple of you picked one of these. I don't know what you're doing, but knock it off. Okay, the answer is C. Alright. Board nailed diagonally across the square using construction sites. One person actually complained and they said, this isn't a right triangle. We don't know this is a right angle. Well, it says it's a square. If it's a square has right angles. So deal with that. So what's the length of the board? This board goes diagonally. It's just like the first 2 questions we did. So this is C we're looking for. So again, we have A squared plus B squared equals C squared. You're going to get to geometry, and this is going to be like the easiest question on here. Because you're just going to know. But right now we don't. So that's okay. So 16 squared is 256. 16 squared is 256. equals c squared. We add these together. That's 512. Come on, powers of 2. You know this. Maybe not. No. It's like it's 2 to the 8th power. Who doesn't know that? Regular people, right? Alright, so we take the square root of this. Because 512 isn't any number we know. So, one way we can do this, let's say we don't have our chart. Let's say it's a real test and I don't let you use your chart. And you get 512 and you're like, I don't know what that is. We can check our answers. Okay? So I'm going to get rid of the ones that don't make any sense. Like 16 plus 16 is 32. I know that's going to be an answer choice. I know it's going to be wrong, so I'm not picking it. 18, that seems kind of small. 20, I can do 20 squared. 20 times 20, or 20 squared. That's 400. 400. And that's too small. So 20 squared is 400. That's too little. So it's got to be more than 20. Which means there's only one answer left. So we say, what's 23 times 23? We get 9, 6, 0, 6, 4. We get 9, 2, and then bring up the 1. 529. So that's a little bit more than 512, but not a lot more. So our best answer here is A. Okay? So if it's multiple choice, which it will be, okay, unless it comes out nicely, like 5, 12, 13, they'll always give you these multiple choice, and you can just square all of your answers and find the one that comes closest to the square root you're looking for. Okay? That's that. Alright, this one, a lot of people got this one right, and I was super happy about it, because this one, it messes people up sometimes. So, perimeter of 2 squares, use form right triangle drawn below. Find the side, or find the perimeter of the third square. Okay? So if we're talking about perimeter of a square, that's the, perimeter equals 4 times the side length. Okay? Or the side length equals perimeter divided by 4. So if we take 48 divided by 4, we'd get each of these sides is 12. If we take 60 divided by 4, we'd get each of these sides is 15. Okay? And then we recognize this at 3, 4, 5. But if not, that's okay, because we haven't looked at one of these yet. So this time we're looking to find this side length, which is one of the legs. So a squared plus b squared, c squared. So 12 can be A. B we don't know. And C is 15. 15 squared. So this gives us 144 plus some number equals 225. Since we're looking for one of the legs, we're actually going to subtract here. So this goes away. Minus 144 here. This is 1. Bring the 1 over. This is 81. So b squared equals 81. We finish this up just by taking the square root. What number times itself equals 81? 9. I was a little disappointed that 9 was one of the answer choices. Usually they're pretty good about that. So this side length is 9, but it's not asking us how big is this side. It's saying what's the perimeter of that square. So if all these sides are 9, we do 9 times 4 and we get 36. Alright. And then I think almost everyone got this one right. Thank goodness. So which of the following figures best represents a triangle with sides A, B, and C when a squared plus b squared equals c squared is always true? So all we have to find here is the triangle where A and B are the two short sides and C is across in the right angle and it's a right triangle. So can it be this one? No, it's not a right triangle. Can it be this one? No, why not? Because C is not the hypotenuse, so this can't be it. How about B? No, it's not a right triangle. And D? Yes. Okay? So hopefully you did all this work on a separate piece. Wait, did I spell that right? or piece. No, that doesn't look right. Piece of paper. If not, go back and try again, because you know how doing makeups work. Okay? Second thing, I'll be checking for this. Okay? This is important. Pay attention. What I need you to do after you finish watching and you've gotten this far, alright? You're gonna get on your Twitter or your Instagram, whatever. Okay? You're gonna put the link to this movie and you're gonna give this hashtag, what are we calling this one? Hashtag Pythag. Right? Hashtag Pythag. Okay? And I'm gonna check. And anyone I see doing this, I'm giving them, how many points? 10? Alright, old lady says I'm giving plus 10 points. So if I see this, I'm gonna check later. I better be trending. Hashtag Pythag. Okay? That's your goal. Do this. Also, like, comment, and subscribe. All that noise. Alright, good night.